A new militant group in Nigeria calling itself Delta Avengers has claimed responsibility for an attack at a major pipeline in the country's Delta region. The Avengers have recently been targeting oil and gas facilities as part of what they say is a battle for the Delta's independence. The militants said on social media that it had attacked the Nembe pipeline about 2 a.m. local time. Eyewitnesses say they heard multiple attacks on Saturday night. Nigeria's oil output has fallen to a 20-year low due to attacks on oil pipelines in the southern swamps, home to much of its oil and gas wealth, which have compounded the impact of low crude oil prices. Well, let's get more now from CCTV's Deji Banmas. He joins us live in Lagos. Deji, what more can you tell us about this attack in the Niger Delta?
Well, Penina, this attack happened in a state called Bayelsa State. Bayelsa State is an oil-rich state. It's one of the oil-producing states in Nigeria, in the south of the country. We understand that the militants actually targeted a facility belonging to Ajip and Aiteo. And quite importantly, this facility, according to what we are gathering now, produces about 600,000 barrels of oil per day. And the kind of oil we're talking about is the Bonny Light crude, which is Nigeria's top-grade crude. So if indeed that facility produces 600,000 barrels per day, then this is massive, because before now, just a couple of weeks ago, the Minister of State for Petroleum in Nigeria here, Ibe Kachuku, said that Nigeria had actually lost about 800,000 barrels per day, and that Nigeria was doing around 1.4 million barrels per day. Of course, that's in direct opposite to what has been budgeted this year, which is 2.2 million barrels per day. So we might see a further reduction of that production capacity of Nigeria now. We might see a situation where our production capacity might fall down to less than 1 million barrels per day, and that will be something very serious. And you know what? This group, and talking about the Niger Delta Avengers now, have said Nigerians should prepare for a big shock, that is going to happen very soon. Now, we don't know what they are planning, but they've asked the oil companies, Nigerians, and indeed the entire world to prepare for a big shock. Penina? Okay,
so let's talk about these Avengers. I mean, who are they? What's their mission? And how is the government responding to their threats, especially like that one you just talked about?
Now, initially, when this group started, before they actually started carrying out pipeline vandalism and what have you, they actually issued a warning. A lot of people have thought, well, these were former militants, ex-militants now, who, of course, embraced the amnesty deal in 2009. And a lot of people thought, well, that they were aggrieved because the government was ending the pipeline surveillance contract that they were given by the previous government. But, you know, the group has now evolved. They've come out to say they are not in any way related to the ex-militants, that they are a new group. But what is very different from them is that, different now from the previous militant groups we have, is that they are asking for self-government. They're basically asking for the independence of the Niger Delta region. Now, that is that's a complex one now, because before now we thought they were actually agitating for a better deal for the Niger Delta region. They were actually seeking pipeline surveillance contract, but now they've come out to say they want independence for the Niger Delta region. The government actually met last week with former militants, those who embraced the amnesty deal, and in fact the government promised to give them the contracts. Again, the government has actually asked them, the government has actually opened talks with them now to re-award the contracts to them. But the Niger Delta Avengers have actually come out to say they are not willing to embrace that. That, as a matter of fact, it's an insult to the region, that what they want is independence for the Niger Delta region of the country. Now, what has the government been doing? The government has been using what I may want to call the carrot and stick approach. For now, the government is deploying more of the carrot approach, trying to negotiate with these guys, trying to talk to them to cease the bombings. But with the way things are going, it appears we might be heading for some kind of military action, a kind of military confrontation. We do not know, because this group has vowed to continue to attack pipeline oil facilities in the Niger Delta region until all the IOCs, the international oil companies, vacate that region. And they've basically said they are not going to stop until they get independence for that region. So the way we're going, Penina, I think we might be heading for a military confrontation. And I don't think this government will want to shy away from that. And of course, people are frustrated. People are really complaining, and they're asking the government to take action. But then the government is still trying to see if it can resolve this through dialogue.
All right. Did you Badmas live for us in Lagos? Many thanks, Deji.